everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel today. I got tagged. This is my first time getting tagged. You all know that I'm kind of one of the new kids on the block here on YouTube, and although I've done tag videos before, this is the first time I got tagged. I was tagged by the darling and fabulous Kristen Game. I will link her channel down below. I'm sure you all know who she is already, but just in case you don't, definitely check her out because she is just charming to watch and also super educated about all things beauty. She's got a lot to say about a lot of things, and I am continuously learning from her. So she tagged me for the springtime tag, which just sounds so happy. Who doesn't want to do a tag about springtime? So the springtime tag was started by Smart Mouth Beauty, whose channel I will also link down below. So if you're interested in my personal views on springtime and beauty and all that means together, then just keep watching. So the first question is, spring means glowing skin. What do you do for healthy glowing skin? Well, for me, the springtime is all about not looking pasty white, which honestly is kind of a goal all year round, but most especially once the sun starts coming out, you don't want to look like you lived in a closet for the entire winter. And so I've got naturally light toned skin, and I definitely start relying on bronzers quite a bit more once the weather starts to warm up. You never want to look too bronzy in the middle of winter because people will start to hate you because they think you just got back from a fabulous vacation. So I rely on a couple of bronzers, which I'm just going to mention very, very briefly. You can never go wrong with a Physicians Formula bronzer, and I have like 3 right here. Like, do I not like them or what? Newly released is their Butter Bronzer. Actually smells like coconut and margaritas and like island living. So hello, how much fun would that be right now? They also have the bronze boosters. This one is the Beauty Balm bronze booster, and this is just the like original formula bronze booster. Way too many B's in this title product, oh my gosh. Oh, and Butter Bronzer. Okay, Physicians Formula is obsessed with the letter B. Like, they ran a Sesame Street episode, that would be the only letter. The letter of the day is B. I also became a recent fan of the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion bronzer. This one's kind of like a morphing between a cream bronzer and a powder bronzer. It's just a compact of fabulousness. There are some bronzers out there that give you just a very slight sheen. Slight, because you don't want to be like a glowing bronze, but just like a slight sheen. The Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer, Luminous Bronze Light. I'm the lighter shade. It's a marbled bronzer, has just a very slight sheen to it. And then a really great dupe for that is by Miilani. It is officially called their Baked Bronzer, and this is Glow. Also another marbled, baked, kind of luminous, sheeny essence bronzer. So you've got some bronzing options. The second question is, what is the first beauty thing you think of when the weather warms up? So the first thing that came to mind for me was lighter, as in like lighter in consistency, thinner. And so we now have the opportunity to step away from the thicker, heavier foundations and can move into things that are lighter, but yet still provide enough coverage and skin tone evening and blemish covering and all that jazz, but just with a slightly thinner consistency. There is no chance I could maintain a matte complexion in the summer. When you take my oily skin and my pores that like to release a lot of oil, and you combine it with the fact that I am a sweater, not like a knit, but like a sweaty kind of person. Is that TMI? That's kind of TMI, but it's reality, folks. This is what I'm dealing with. So I've got oily skin and I sweat a lot. And so the idea of keeping this matte doesn't work. And plus, that's not really what you're looking for once the weather warms up and the sun is out. I mean, the whole dewy, luminous look is popular now for a reason. So I don't need to take sweat and oil, whatever. I sound gross. I don't need to take those 2 character flaws and combine them with a lot of foundation. And so I definitely resort to a lot of BB creams and now the CC creams. And I've got 2 kind of standout favorites. An oldie but goodie is by Garnier. It's their BB cream. It happens to be the Daily Shine Control, which is just perfect for me. It doesn't matte me out, but it just kind of deals with the fact that I might want to glow a little bit too much all on my own. the shade option, it's like light medium and medium deep. I wind up having to combine the two of them because the shade selection is awful. But I'll make it work because I really like the formula. I'm also recently a very big fan of the IT CC cream. Really good coverage, does really great things for your skin. Leaves me a little bit dewier than the Garnier, so just depending on what kind of a mood I'm in or what kind of a mood or attitude my skin has, I'll switch back and forth between the two. So definitely thinner, lighter, less maintenance, just less actually. The third question is, what is your favorite part of spring? Without a doubt, I love the longer days. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, very, very north, and I swear sometimes I feel like the day starts to get dark at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that for me is so unmotivating. When the days are longer, my dogs get more walks and they get outside more. I get outside more. My husband and I take more walks and hikes together. You just feel like you can accomplish so much more. I feel like I'm like actually awake. Like I don't start feeling sleepy at like 5 o'clock because now the sun has gone down. And so the longer days absolutely impact the level of my health. It impacts my mood, makes me smile more. The fourth question is, do you do your hair differently in the spring? My short answer is no. I pretty much style my hair the same all the time. It's pretty straight. I kind of work with the ends a little bit to give them a little bit of flair. I do put my hair up in a ponytail or a messy bun much more frequently just because I get hot very easily. Revert back to one of the previous questions where I talk about how I sweat a lot. I still think that was TMI. Probably the only other thing that I might do differently other than put it up and off of my neck more is I let it air dry more. I don't like to feel cold, and in fact I am probably cold until it crosses 75 degrees. And so I'm always blow drying my hair because I don't like how cold I feel when my scalp is cold and my hair is wet. But in the spring, I tend to start feeling a little bit warmer than usual, and I can get away with wearing, you know, a heavy sweater and keeping my hair wet and allowing it to air dry, which is just overall healthier for my hair. Question 5, what item of clothing are you most excited about wearing? Hands down, without a doubt, espadrilles. Espadrilles or any sort of wedge form of heel. Why? Because those are the most comfortable, less likely to fall shoes you will ever be able to wear. I love me a good pair of heels, but I am in constant fear that I'm going to fall and make a fool out of myself in front of other people. Actually, at that point, I would probably just laugh at myself and start laughing and encourage other people to laugh at that point, but I still don't really want to do that. So I love wearing a really comfortable wedge. You can actually go much higher. I love when people look at my shoes and they're like, oh my God, how are you walking in those? Those are so tall. I'm like, no, it's all the illusion of the wedge. The wedge is actually super comfortable, way stable, and I definitely have less of a fear that I'm gonna fall when I'm wearing a really good espadrille or wedge. Question 6. What is your favorite springtime smell or fragrance? Despite the fact that I have pretty decent sized allergies, I love the smell of fresh cut grass. First of all, I think that's just one of the most major signs of spring, when you're actually able to mow your lawn because it isn't wet or loaded with snow or water or anything, and it means the grass is growing. What's ironic right now actually is somebody in my neighborhood is mowing, and I almost didn't film right now because I was like, oh, the camera might pick that up. So I hope you're not hearing that. That isn't actually my stomach rumbling or my dog growling or anything. That would be a lawnmower in the neighborhood somewhere. I also have kind of another true confession in addition to the fact that I sweat a lot. I feel like when people mow the lawn, they're actually like, it's a form of organization because the lawn becomes manicured and trim and neat, and it makes me very content when I see that a lawn is crisp and everything is one layer and it's fresh and it's neat. And I just feel like that is another level of organization that we can accomplish in this world. Number 7, favorite springtime lipstick color. So in the winter and in the fall, I typically go for a lot of mauves and purples. But once the spring and the summer comes, I definitely go back to kind of the peaches and the corals and the much warmer lip colors. So I have a couple of favorites that I definitely resort back to. One of them is Drugstore. It's by Revlon. It's their lip butters. This happens to be in the color Juicy Papaya. How fun is that? I love the lip butters because you can just wear them. No lip liner, they're moisturizing, they don't dry you out, they add really great color intensity, and I've probably got 8 or 10 of these lip butters. I think they're fabulous, but Juicy Papaya, definitely a springtime color for me. Non-drugstore, I love the matte cream sheens. Again, in the spring, I'm all about moisturizing my lips and just keeping things light and easy and thin and fresh. And so their cream sheen line is probably, I would say, my most favorite lipstick line ever in the whole wide world would be the matte cream sheens. They're just so easy to wear. I just love them. Okay, so a lighter version is called Shanghai Spice, and it's kind of a muted pinky coral. And that would be right there, and that's the papaya right there, just by comparison. The other one that I love that I tend to compartmentalize for the spring and the summer, also another matte cream sheen, is called Ravishing. And it's a hair brighter. It's actually more a hair lighter. It looks very similar to Juicy Papaya. Can you tell there's like a trend? There's like a theme there. Question 8. Your favorite springtime nail color. I definitely love, come spring, the pastels that I call like the creamy white pastels. So it's not just that they're lighter in color, it's that they've been even further lightened with what appears to be some white within that polish. So one of my favorites is by Rimmel. This is their 60-second nail color line, and which I love because I never have time to let my manicure dry. So this stuff dries so fast and actually does not chip for quite a while, and it's like super cheap. They're like less than $2 a bottle, which I think is actually pretty great because you don't have to go through an entire nail polish. I mean, whoever actually goes through an entire nail polish bottle? Anyway, so this is clearly a purple, but it's been whitened. It's like a whitened purple, and this one happens to be called Lilac. That's so cute. One that I'm really liking from Essie is called Turquoise and Caicos. How creative are their names? I have to admit, sometimes I will buy a polish simply because I love its name. And then going along with all of the creamy white pastels, I also love a really good white in the springtime. I think Julie G makes a fabulous white. I don't know, my eyes, for some reason, interpret this white as a brighter white than some of the other whites that I've tried. Okay, honestly, it's called white something, but I totally cannot read the writing because it's so freaking tiny on the back. So look for a Julie G polish that looks white and has white in the name. I'm not even sure I can list it down below because I'm not sure how I'm going to see what the rest of this name is. Not only young people paint their nails, okay? People who are starting to lose their eyesight and might some point in the near future need glasses need to be able to read the names too. It's like sight discrimination. The final question is, what is springtime like where you are? I am way up in the Pacific Northwest, so there's definitely a lot of green up here. Hello, Seattle, Emerald City, green, right? I live near a lot of farmland, and the farms wake up, and so all of a sudden there's like a field of like baby sheep and baby alpacas and baby cows, which is totally like Twilight Zone for me because I'm like originally from New York City. For me, spring where I am is just green and alive. I'm alive. So that's it, 9 questions and answers about how I feel about spring. Thank you so much, Kristen, for tagging me. It felt really cool to be invited to the party. Thank you so much to Smart Mouth Beauty for creating an awesome tag. This was a tremendous amount of fun. I am going to tag some YouTube creators down below who I thoroughly enjoy watching on a regular basis, and I would love it if you would participate as well and do this springtime tag. But I'm also tagging my subscribers and my viewers right now. Answer one, some, or all of those questions down in the comment section below because I would love to know what your thoughts on spring are as well. And just because you don't have a YouTube channel doesn't mean you don't get to play along. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I invite you to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I invite you to be one of my subscribers, and if you already are, thank you so much for coming back and seeing me. I really do appreciate you spending this time with me. I hope you have a really good rest of the day. I hope your spring is fabulous, and in the meantime, thanks.
The second question, I have no idea because the screen completely went blank. Okay. And plus, that's not really what you're looking for once the weather and the sun... Am I like ready for spring or what? It was like, oh, springtime tag video? Quick, whip out the most corally, peachy, bright, I should be on an island sipping a margarita shirt. Much more frequent. Much more frequent. Let's try try that one again. I also have to confess, Moan. I am a straight A student. Where am I coming up with this? Oh my gosh. I just spoke for like 3.5 minutes and was not even recording. That is such a rookie YouTuber mistake.